A girl married an old man, but on their wedding night, she discovered that he was not actually old. There was a family in a village in Japan that led a hard life. The Takahashi couple had 2 kids, a son and a daughter. They were not living on the streets, but their house was not exactly a mansion. The family had just enough money to buy food on a daily basis. Both the children studied well, and the girl was also able to attend college. She finished her studies and started working. Considering the financial status of the Takahashi family, marrying the kids was a difficult task. One day, a 70-year-old man came to them with a marriage proposal for their daughter, and their life changed forever. Aki was a 26-year-old girl who lived with her parents. She was still not married. Now, you might think, what is the big deal? But in villages and small towns, it is. Her parents were trying really hard, but nobody wanted to marry a girl from a poor family. Aki went on about her day as usual. She did not expect anything extraordinary to happen that day. She went to work when she received a call from her family that shook her to the core. Aki thought if this was really happening, or was it just a dream? Aki's mom called her to tell her that a 70-year-old man named Akemi wanted to marry her. Yeah, you heard that right. A 70-year-old man. He visited Aki's home out of nowhere and told her parents that he wanted to marry her. She could not believe what she was hearing. And he was not any man. He was one of the wealthiest people in their province. The man that wanted to marry her was a businessman and quite rich. Why would such a wealthy person want to marry Aki? Well, in most cases, it is because they want to marry a young girl. There is a possibility that this is the case here as well. Aki finished her work early that day and rushed home. She needed time and space to process what was going on. If Aki decides to marry this guy, most of their problems will vanish. She could help her brother get a stable job, the family will have enough money, and she will lead a comfortable life. But on the other hand, she will be married to a 70-year-old guy. Would she ever be able to come to terms with that? Considering that there were more pros than cons, she decided to meet the guy. The next day she met him. It felt strange to think that her future groom would be an old man. But she decided to give him a fair chance. They talked and surprisingly, she had a good time. He was fun, respectful and generous. After meeting him a few times, Aki realized that she is falling in love with the old man. Never in a million years, she thought this could happen, but guess what? Love is blind. Blind to the age difference, the societal difference, the class, race. Love is blind to everything negative and irrelevant in this world. Aki agreed to marry the old man. On her wedding day, she had mixed feelings. She was feeling happy, but she was also sad. She loved the guy she was marrying, but he was 70 years old. Thousands of questions clouded her mind. But now, there was no turning back. She knew that this was the right thing to do. They got married, and after that, Akemi took her to his huge, luxurious apartment. Akemi was tired, and so he decided to take a shower. While Akemi was in the shower, Aki waited for him on the bed. It was their first night, and Aki wanted to make him feel special. She wanted him to know that she did not marry him just for the money. Aki was waiting for him to come out of the shower, and when he finally did, she was stunned. The guy that stepped out of the shower was not Akemi. As she was lying naked on the bed, she quickly covered herself and started screaming. Instead of a 70-year-old Akemi, she saw a handsome stranger. She screamed and called for help. The guy realized that to shut her up he needs to tell her the truth. What he said next shook Aki to her core. It was too good to be real. The stranger told her that he was Akemi. He has been young and handsome all this while. Then, why did he act old? Akemi told Aki that as he was so rich, all the girls wanted him just for his money. But he wanted a girl who'd fall for his personality. A girl who'd want her even if he lost everything someday. He knew that initially, Aki said yes because of the money, but then he married her only when she started falling for him. Akemi saw that even though he was old, Aki fell for his personality. Aki was beyond surprised to hear this. She loved Akemi even when he was old, but she often doubted her decision of marrying such an old man. Now, she knew that it was the best decision of her life. Akemi was not only rich and smart, but he was also quite good looking. He was everything that a girl would want in her life partner. Aki was elated to see her destiny take a turn like this. What would you have done if you were in place of Akemi? Would you have married someone who is way older than you? Does money matter when you are in love? What is more important to you, money and looks or personality? These are some of the questions that you should really think about. Your life partner's personality will determine how happy or sad your married life is going to be. Imagine marrying a person who is tall, dark, handsome and rich, but treats you like a slave. It won't work out, right? Looks will fade with time, money is temporary, but personality